Nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So you're the one who had the document, the COI document?
Yes, that's right.
Wow, you've just been on point tonight.
It's just after dinner. I was just chatting around, and John said, "Hey, we're doing this conspiracy thing," so that turned me on.
Hang on, I'm just gonna shut that door over there.
Okay. I don't know how long I can be on, but just thought I'd check.
Okay, hang on just a second. I'm gonna make myself some tea.
So, if I read your profile right, you just graduated Harvard.
Yeah, yeah.
In what area?
Digital media.
No kidding. I didn't know they had a degree in that
Yeah, yeah.
right now. Curious. So, did you read the COI thing?
Yeah, I think it's a really great. And you know what? I had been needing that for a while. So it's just really, I appreciate the time you took making that document.
Did you read some of the commentary leading up into it? Because it's the result of probably 7 months of almost daily conversations between three of us to really get at what we thought was core. So that's what we were trying to do.
You know, that's pretty amazing. And so once you do it and read it, of course, it seems totally obvious. But I'd like to figure out like why it took so long to get there. Like what did you trash? Because I made like a similar document. I made like a
Hmm.
wish list before I got married, and
Yeah.
it had like nine things on it. So I had to make it so simple. And I too spent like tons of time revising it, but I'd like to know what got thrown away to make this.
There's actually lots of material. So if you're really interested, I can show you some of it. But we went through many diagrams. We went through wholeness, we went through health, we went through autonomy, we went through freedom, we went through well-being, we went through love, we went through democracy, we went through governance, we went through just about everything you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Until we finally figured out none of that's going to matter unless people grow up. And if
Okay.
people grow up, then you need less of that external stuff.
Okay.
And so we focused on that. So I don't know if you're part of the GCC, the Global Challenges Collaboration Group.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting looking for my husband too. You know what number one was on my list? It
What
was
was number one?
integrity. It
It
was
was which?
integrity. It was
Integrity.
integrity.
Very good.
So yeah, it was totally feeling that.
So it's really nice that you can get clear and summarize it down to a few things, and then use that as a kind of a filter, right?
Hmm.
If that's indeed what you did. So I don't know. I don't even know what the thread was that John started. I barely read it. All John said was he tagged me and then said, "Hey, let's start a Zoom." So I started a Zoom, and I don't even know what the rest of the thread was about.
Oh, this conspiracy zone?
What? That there's not enough conspiracies? I think that was one meme that I caught.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he was saying. And well, I mean, I think they're conspiracies, but we never conspire. Like our kind of people, we never conspire.
And
Why?
was it you who commented we should be the ones doing some new conspiring?
Yeah.
Is that you? Yeah. So that's that. I'm all for that. I think we need to organize as well as those people who have other objectives, you know?
Mhm.
Who was it who said that? Anyway, warriors for love need to organize at least as well as those who actually do it for profit or money or power or those other gains.
Yeah, if we keep bitching about other people, why
Yeah,
can't we do something?
yeah, yeah. So part of my conspiracy is to grow people who really want to adopt these kinds of practices, you know, the things that I put
Mhm.
in this one pager. Because I think if people do that, then I myself am more likely to connect and co-conspire or co-create, you know. But the word of the day is conspire. So I would be more likely to co-conspire with people who actually adopt and embrace those practices. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm looking for is people who want to hold themselves accountable, who want to do good, who want to connect with other people who want to do the same thing, and sort of build these little mycelial networks.
Oh my God, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So the reason why I like conspiring is that it adds an element of intrigue and kind of fun where certain things are going on the right path, like compassion games. Like that's totally going on the right path, but the branding is kind of like,
Yeah, the
I don't
Dalai
know.
Lama owns this compassion game, right?
Yeah.
Even though that is also central to me, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. It doesn't grab the millennials quite so much. I presume
Like,
you're a millennial or not.
no, I'm 43.
I'm a little bit more than a millennial, if you can tell, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was born in 75.
So you graduated with what, a PhD?
No, I have masters.
Master's. Okay, so I'm not nearly as educated, even though I went to, never mind.
What?
Your arch enemy, Stanford, you know.
No.
Harvard is known as the Stanford of the East.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Anyway, so what conspiracy would you like to create?
Definitely a global conspiracy because we're all in different places. But I think we should organize locally.
So you're in Milan, you said?
Yeah.
I have friends. In fact, I just got back from Frankfurt last week. In fact, just Monday, 2 days ago. But I have. I was looking. I was visiting friends in Gießen, which is just north of Frankfurt,
Mhm.
and one of my friends from Amsterdam drove down. And on my next trip, I'm going to go visit people. Um, God, I forget where Heidi lives, but it's somewhere like Florence, maybe. And then
Okay.
another one in Oslo, and two more in London, and one in Sweden, and one in Toulouse, France, and one in Portugal. So
Okay.
there's a number of people that engage on these global GCC calls, and most of them are European based.
Okay. Interesting. And where are
Yeah.
you? I'm sorry.
I am between Seattle and Vancouver in a little place called Kamado Island.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
If you've ever heard of the San Juan Islands, I don't know if you are. You wouldn't if you haven't been in the U.S., but there's some really nice islands on the northwest corner of the United States. So just north of Seattle, just
Okay.
south of Vancouver.
I've heard good things about Vancouver.
Vancouver's a hot little town. Very expensive to live there now, but I have
Yeah,
another
I
friend up
heard.
there also.
I
Yeah,
heard.
very expensive. Yeah. Yes. So I'm all about these decentralized conspiracies. In fact, I don't know how much you know about Anonymous, but I like a lot
Yeah.
of what they've been doing.
Yeah. So that's an interesting topic of discussion, actually, because I think they have some good things and some bad things. I'd love to take some of their good things,
Yeah.
um, which is, um, so I think their two highlights were when they, let's see, their campaign against the, oh, what's that church? The, you know what I'm talking about, right? The,
You mean the Baptist church down south?
No, it was a Christian, Christian Science. No, no, it's not Christian Science. It's the
Christian.
no Science something. Dianetics. They have
Oh, Scientology.
Scientology. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So their campaign against Scientology was actually really brilliant because as an anonymous group, usually you can't go against Scientology because they'll
They
like
come after you.
trash you. Yeah, they totally come after you. So it was like their specialty that they could make such a dent in
Yeah.
that group. And I think they also, another highlight was when Egypt was in the midst of revolution and their internet was down and they helped them.
Yeah. Stay electronic. Stay connected. Stay
Right,
online.
exactly. So those
Yes, I
two
remember.
things I thought were really
Arab Spring.
yes, and I thought that they had like their beginnings in 4chan, although I think a lot of time they were assholes. I think they had the environment that kind of anything goes, and I think that was able to create some kind of spiral. And I'd like to create that that's fun like that, but like with a little bit more, you don't want like doxing girls and stuff like that. And
Right. So that's why, I'm not sure how they've encoded their ethics or morals, but in my view, if I can get someone to say, I want to do good, whatever good means to you,
yeah,
then that at least is some kind of a compass.
yeah,
And if you hold yourself accountable, you may not get it right the first time, but you'll eventually get there. And that's what I'm
right,
hoping. So
right.
if you get
No,
a
I
bunch of
think
people
that's
who all want to do good, and they all look at their own execution and evaluate it from time to time, and be
mhm,
accountable to their own peers, really trusted, loved peers who are willing to tell you you're full of bullshit,
mhm.
then I think the right things will happen. That's my
That's so
belief.
interesting because what I've been doing is trying to convince people that we need to organize in friend groups.
Yeah.
And so it got a little bit of traction when, Richard Bartlett?
I don't know Richard Bartlett.
Okay, so Richard Bartlett is, do you know the Inspiral group in New
Yes, I
Zealand?
do. Yes.
So Richard is part of that original group. And I had a conversation with Josh, who started Inspiral. And
Hmm.
because I was working on this project at Holochain for, to do some kind of app for matchmaking app for entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
And he said, if you want to facilitate entrepreneurs, the best thing that you can do is form actual friendships that are deep friendships. And that's kind of the basis of real entrepreneurship because, you can find an app to match people, but it's not going to create those deep connections and it's just going to fall apart because when you're doing like deep work, like real entrepreneurship, you have to go for years failing and you have to
Yeah.
trust the other partners. And when things aren't working, you have to have strong bonds to stay in there.
Yeah, it's more important than a marriage, actually.
It's what?
It's more important than a marriage. It's
Yeah.
equally stressful, high stakes, a lot of high emotions at times. So it's that drastic of, a potential impact.
So that got me thinking of how to organize in actual groups because when I lived in Brooklyn, I used to host kind of a salon and I did it just through dinners because I like to cook and I had like a nice space. And so I just invited people on the regular. And I really didn't realize um, what an impact that was until like years later when people were still telling me, they're like, oh, I missed your dinners. Like, it was so nice to have like a friend group that
Yeah,
meets regularly. Because people have
I
friends,
agree.
but like it was a solid group of like 10 people who met consistently. And
No,
that's a
that's a
little
great
bit
thing.
more rare.
That's a great thing.
So,
So I only jumped on for a short time just to see what this conspiracy thing was like. So how about this? I mean, John said he was going to jump on in an hour. I'm not actually sure I can. Do you actually have a Zoom account, Lauren?
I don't. I could make one, I guess.
So tell John that, if he pings me when he gets up, and if you guys want to do this, I can jump back on. But I got to go do some laundry, go do some dishes right now. So it's about that time. So
Okay.
anyway,
Wait,
I would
what
like
time
to
is
talk to you
it for
some
you?
more. Here in the Pacific, it is 8:30 p.m. We just finished
Okay.
dinner about half an hour ago.
I actually have like a pretty well planned out conspiracy. I mean, I've been thinking about it for
Let's hear
20
it. I want to hear
years.
about it. Yes. I've got 6 of them. Okay. But all right. But yes, I would like to continue this. I'm not trying to be brusque. I'm just trying to say, this is unanticipated and I got to do some dishes and some
Totally get
food
it.
as well. Okay. But very nice meeting you, Lauren. I hope we
We'll
have
wait
another
for John
opportunity.
and we'll meet again.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. All right.
All right. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Okay. Talk to you later.